Hello guys, welcome back to the Coco Boy channel. I'm a new member, Ewan. He's going to tell you this isolation story from school. So, go on.
We're not going to be filming here all the time. This is like...
Yeah,
because right now we're in the middle of a field by simply ventilation stand. So
yeah, so anyway.
If any of you know what that is,
Please
write it in the comments.
Anyway, so go ahead, you start telling your isolation.
Okay, so it was a couple of years ago on Sports Day, and basically they had a list and you picked what you wanted to do. And then I picked tennis, and so did a couple of my other friends, so we thought, this is going to be quite nice actually. So then we were going out into the tennis court, and we were all playing tennis fine, and then this one boy who I had a bit of a falling out with earlier, but I'll tell you that story another time. He started working opposite us.
Yeah.
And so we were all playing tennis with him. I was fine with it, you know, as long as he didn't start arguing with me, it'd be all fine. Anyway, we were playing tennis.
Yeah.
And he was hitting it into his own net. So I was just saying, this is a point for us. And basically, he got mad, stormed off a couple of times before, you know, eventually just moving on to another court with this other guy. And basically, what had happened was the guy on the other side obviously probably didn't really know how to hit the tennis ball correctly. Hit it with about as much grace as a tea towel into the court that he was on. So me and my friend, we go up to try and get it back.
Yeah.
And then we just say to him nicely, "Could we please have the ball back?" "Oh, no, you cannot have the ball back." So then eventually he gets mad and he whacks us with his tennis racket.
Wow. And
he storms off. And then a couple of minutes later, my other friend goes in, I'm assuming looking after him. I actually have no idea what he was doing. And and then it was time to pick our next sport. And because there's two sports halls, so there's like one upstairs and then there's a downstairs and there's one downstairs as well. And so, I just picked my sport, we're going down the stairs, and I see the head of year at the bottom of the stairs with the high-vis jacket and the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Ewan, can I just borrow you for a moment? She says, and I was like, well, I immediately knew what this was about. I just thought, you know, she's gonna, you know, say such and such happened and try and prevent it, you know, typical. And then, so I get into the meeting room. That friend who walked off behind the other friend was actually there in the waiting room.
Yeah.
It was in the meeting room. You know the meeting room? You know, like just as you're coming out and you turn...
Yeah.
Yeah, right, and there's the meeting room there. So basically, the teacher just said, you know, these little digs, these little jives, it really upset him. He cannot talk, he's in isolation because you have wound him up. I'm sorry, my phone's going off. And then she said to us, look, you're two lovely lads and you're not in trouble at all, but you're going to isolation. For those of you who don't have isolation in your school, so basically it's like a big hall.
It's like a room with like boxes
where
it
has
sitting.
Like, have you ever been in like toilet cubicles?
It's like them.
But it doesn't have a door on it, and it has a desk sticking out and a chair.
Yeah, that's practically it. Search it up on Google and comment down below if you've been in isolation before.
Yeah. And so basically, I actually remember this much. She told my friend to sit in booth number 3, told me to sit in booth number 16, and then I just call her the warden, because I don't know what to call her. She said, the 3 young gentlemen who've just come in, can you please grab a book? Try doing something productive.
What lesson was it? Was it session 6?
I have no idea because it was sports day. We don't do it. Was
Oh,
that,
right.
you know, activity week where we don't do lessons.
Oh, yeah,
It were then, so I have no idea.
Yeah, why would you go in isolation on sports day?
I don't know because apparently I'd wound him up. But we still had like 4 hours of the day left.
Were you in there all day?
Yeah, I was in there the whole time, and then then I went to get my book. It was just shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves full of Jane Eyre. So I had no other choice but to read Jane Eyre. I sat in there for 4 hours reading Jane Eyre with the rain coming down the window like, you know, like you're in an Adele music video.
Yeah.
It just trickling down the window. And then because it was a warm day but it was still raining somehow. Welcome to England, I suppose. I said to the warden, because we were a couple of hours in at this point, I said, can I please have a drink of water? Because my bag was at the other side of the room where she told me to put it. And then she said, no! And then I don't know whether she did this in a passive-aggressive way, but she picked up a coffee and started drinking it while looking at me, slowly. So, I get what I did was a little bit cheeky here. I said to her, can I have a coffee, please? And she goes absolutely ballistic. No, you cannot! Yeah. And then, basically after that, you could practically hear a pin drop. And then my friend, who was also in, he started asking for fidgets, because he says, oh, well, usually I like to use fidgets to distract myself with. He never really does use fidgets, but I think he was just bored at this point, which, fair enough. And then she says, the warden says, well, you shouldn't be fiddling with anything. This is isolation.
That it?
Well, that is kind of the story, yeah.
Yeah, so fair enough. I guess I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much.